Something I've always wondered about humans. Why do they lie? Do they lie to protect themselves or someone else? Or do they lie to hurt others or themselves? It's such a strange thing. Maybe they're just lies to be kind or cruel. A lie to protect a child from the death of their parents. A lie to protect an oblivious girl from her boyfriend's infidelity. A lie that could change or end the world. What I'm curious on is why are you never honest when it comes to being down here? I've given you ample opportunity to escape. You've even seen the sunlight. But you never run. But whenever I think you won't run, you do. And you make it out, only to trip and find yourself back in my tail. No matter where you go or what you do, you always find yourself running back into my arms. Isn't that what love is? I think it's a perfect example. I've only ever known a few loves in my life. In my long life. And none of them were the sickening fairy tales that you told your people. My mother's hands were always cold, and any man who tried to love me, they all tried to kill me. But I never did anything to them. I never lifted a finger to them. I only smiled and wanted to play. But eventually I got tired. Tired of seeing their faces, tired of seeing them smile at my sadness. Sick of hearing them laugh whenever I cried. And so with one squeeze it was all over. With just gobbling them up, it was all over. Eating them alive, however, was probably the most satisfying feeling. Hearing them squirm even as they go down my throat, hearing them begging to stay alive. Nothing measures up to that feeling. You haven't treated me like that. You haven't tried to hurt me. You've only ever tried to run from me. And what if I did cause you to? As I said numerous times, as many times as it should take for you to understand that should be enough, that you know that I just want to play, that I just want to know what love is like again. No one comes near me anymore. No one comes to visit, only just to hunt me. Does anyone ever come? You're the first in many centuries that hasn't tried to hurt me or even tried to kill me. You've only spoken to me and looked at me with such sweet terror that I'd long forgotten pain for as long as I looked into your eyes. And I want you to keep looking at me like that. It eases my boredom and eases my sorrow. And as long as you're alive, as long as you're here, I can keep reliving that feeling. You know how they say that it's better to feel nothing than to feel pain? I don't feel that way at all. Is it better to be feared than loved? Perhaps. Personally, I go back and forth with the thought. However, I feel that being feared is better than being loved. They can't say that they're doing something bad and then turn around and say they love you. They could sit on you and break your back. They could break your legs and keep you from leaving. All because they say they love you. Isn't that what humans are like? They'll do anything to keep their loves from leaving. They'll selfishly keep them alive, but they'll also make sure they can't leave. Like a rat in a maze, they can never leave. Like a bird in a cage, they can only sing and hope that the right ears hear their cry. Isn't that just interesting? I know it is. But I'm not human. I don't think the way you do. And it's simple why. It's bothersome. My honesty far outweighs the worth of your life. And my long life means that I can do as I please. Because the humans that I affect, be it in joy or in sorrow, they eventually forget me, and then they eventually die. That's one of the sweet things about living a long life, an eternal life. It's that everything around you withers, and you're in a cycle of beginning anew. This is one of many cycles for me. One that I hope to see someone like you in again. Because you're probably the most interesting guest I've had. I don't know if what I feel aligns with love. At least not you humans' definition of love. But I can say for certain that it is something almost exactly like it. If not, then what could it be? I sound possessive. Is that what the word is? I've always wondered it. Controlling, possessive. I've heard tales like that, where a man would keep a girl locked up in her own home, and he'd barely treat her like an animal, even if she ate from his hand and allowed his loving touches. He would never think of her as higher. He would only keep kicking her if she even so much as whimpered. And then one day she would give up and die just to escape him. And then her enraged spirit remains in that house, tormenting him into insanity. It's a perfect revenge, don't you think? It's a perfect story, and it's one I've heard again and again in my short time of being with the humans. That's a tale I've known almost all over the continent. What can be done for these souls? What can bring them hope? And what can help them rest? I wonder about it. But why are we spending so much time about this? It's almost like you're stalling by saying such things. You've been sleeping a while lately. When you would go to sleep, it would be for a long time, and you don't wake up for anything. Almost like you've become afraid of waking up. And I have to say, the faces you make as I touch you, they're quite possibly the sweetest I've ever seen on you. Love, conventional love, has begun to bore me, and it has for a long time. Love is far beyond my reach, at least the kind you say you want. So why not occupy myself with seeing what can be done to replace it? I've lost interest in it. I have lost interest in the traditional means in obtaining a human. But then I guess that was out of my reach to begin with. When it comes to me being a Lamia, should I be calling myself a queen? I'm the only one I know around here, and I haven't seen my people in a long time, if ever. They've only existed in stories. They've only existed in nightmares. Has my face ever appeared in your nightmares? Because I would hope so. It's better to be feared than loved. And that's what makes it so sweet to see my prey fall. In the final moments of their lives, previous participants, previous friends, they begged me. They begged to stay alive, even offering themselves to me. I've never been partial to the idea of having a concupiscent relationship with a human, but what's the point in a flesh bag that rots in 5 minutes? 5 minutes is to you what simply a decade is to me. They eventually die, and eventually I'll forget they ever existed. Isn't that the case with many things? Look at you. You're standing free and you're just staring at me. And I don't know why. What are you waiting for? Do you want to play some more. Mind you, I've grown weary, but I still won't go easy on you. I love games like tag and hide and seek. I've always loved the children's games. But where's the fun if it doesn't have any risk? Especially not for me. If I don't have excitement in my life, and the many centuries that I will have and continue to have, then what is the point of me existing? What are you trying to say to me? Are you trying to say that I sound depressed? Perhaps it's an off day for me. What do you mean? I'm not... You want to take me out? Outside? I've never been outside in a long time. Not ever since they brought... No, I don't know what... There's someone out there who swore to look for me, to hunt me down. Their voice clings to my head like a tumor, and pouring inside of me an endless stream of words that are meant to scare me into staying in the cave. But I've stopped listening to them. I've stopped entertaining the notion that they're somewhere nearby. But if I were to follow you where you go, they would find me, and I would not be the same again. Would it finally end this miserable half-existence? I guess we won't know until it happens now, will we? And there you go again with those strange words. Why are you trying to tell me that I will be okay? Perhaps what I have done to you wasn't severe enough to where you would genuinely try to run. I haven't tried to bite you or asphyxiate you. But at the same time, I haven't even kissed you. And yet you're so willing to act like this. It's so confusing to me. But I guess that's what makes you so interesting. Why should I listen? I'm not that sort. And why would I take orders from a human anyway? In the end, I should be the one making the decisions. I decide if you're happy or sad, if you're relieved or you're in fear, if you'll be in pain or not. But then I guess we don't always get what we want now. Why do you want to go outside with me that badly? Ah, I see. Lately you've wandered. Wondered what? What does it mean to love someone? You want to teach me what that is? I'm not interested. Because in the end, love will fade away. Love will dissolve and it will dissipate. And it will become something that it's not meant to be. I've seen that with you humans and other races too. And I haven't seen everything yet. Why don't I make a game out of this then? If you're able to show me what love means, especially among the humans, then I will relieve you, and I will let you live and be free. But if you lose, then I eat you. It will be perfect and you'll taste so rewarding. Don't let me down.